Morning, everybody. This is Jeremiah with Man with a Mug. I'm really glad you're here. Got some coffee today. Uh-oh. I just moved the camera. I think it's still fine. Um, this is just Keurig coffee. I'm up early in the morning. It's about 4:30 a.m. We are chilling. My family's still asleep, so I have the baby monitor over there. So if I'm glancing over there every once in a while, don't mind me. Um, in a previous episode, I was about to start reading, and my son just started moving a good bit more than I was expecting him to because he's asleep. Um, and at one point, he put his leg up, straight up, just like this, on the bar of his crib, and then was dead asleep like that. And I hesitated because I thought he was awake. Because normally, toddlers don't just put their legs up in the air while awake. They do it. They'll kick the crib. They'll do all the fun things trying to just cause a ruckus because they're toddlers. That's what they do. But I was very thrown off when he was dead asleep and his leg was straight up in the air. It was really funny. I didn't show it on camera because, for privacy reasons, but I thought it was funny. This is just Keurig coffee. We're up in the morning. I forgot to explain in the last episode here. Um, this mug, or no, I did explain the last episode. I'm getting my episodes mixed up. I'm recording a lot of episodes back to back to back to back to back. Um, so I just got off recording 2 episodes of Walden, and we're going to read Aesop's Fables today. So I'm a little bit out of order with in which I'm going to upload them, but that's okay. This mug is from a business in college by a dude who started a business called Vagabonds Vintage. It was thrift clothing. Really cool dude. His name is Bo. He runs a shop out in Texas now. The shop is defunct, but he has a new one. I think it's called Rag Parlor Vintage. His name's Bo. Dude, if you're still out there, if you're watching it, I don't think you are, but if you are, keep rocking. You made me a very well dressed man in college, so I appreciate that. Aesop's Fables. Let's get into it. Um, Doodly doo. The charcoal burner and the fuller. Fuller. Interesting. A charcoal burner. My voice is cracking a lot this morning. A charcoal burner carried on his trade in his own house. One day he met a friend, a fuller, and entreated him to come and live with him, saying that they should be far better neighbors and that their housekeeping expenses would be lessened. The fuller replied, the arrangement is impossible as far as I'm concerned, and for whatever I should whiten, you would immediately blacken again with your charcoal. Like will draw like is the message of the fable. Like will draw like. So I am assuming a fuller is someone that probably cleans or whitewashes something. That would make sense to me. A charcoal burner, of course, is everything would get so sooty and dirty and black. That's just the nature of his job. Like will draw like. This is interesting. This story, there's a very uh, stark contrast between black and white, but neither is being presented as wrong in this story. It's just different, and there's some there's some wisdom in saying like will draw like. I think people with similar interests and similar backgrounds, similar cultures, will get along better with each other than they would with other people. At the same time, though, they're still friends at the end of the story. They're not like gonna part separate ways and say, "Hey, you're different than me, so I'm going to hate you," or our interests are diametrically opposed. As such, I can't get along with you at all. They're simply the fuller who is whitewashing everything. It's just saying like, dude, it's not practical. And some people are. Where was I going with that? I don't know. Like will draw like. True. I think it depends though, because I'm trying to balance that with people say opposites attract, right? People say that in sometimes friendships, a lot of times in marriages. I mean, magnets happen like that, north and south. The poles, they are attracted by opposites in that case. So, in what sense is something balanced by opposites, and in what sense is something balanced by likeness? I don't think I have the answer to that question yet. I'll have to think about that. But I wonder if Like will draw like when they have a similar mission outside of themselves. I think I bring that up a lot in my videos. Sometimes unprompted, sometimes prompted, but a mission larger than yourself is something that I feel like I keep bringing up because I think it's important to nail that down. And if you're doing a mission, if you're executing a mission with a different people, same mindset. Good example. I'm coming up with this on the fly now. I ran a Spartan race over the weekend. I'm very sore, very tired, but I ran a Spartan race. It was really fun. The guys that I ran this 10K with were relatively different people, I would think. Um, there are some people, I work at a company where there's office work and there are people that go um, like out in the field and do field work. So they're outside. They're some of the hardiest dudes. I love them. But some of the guys I ran with were fielders and they're very physically hardy, but we were all running this race together. And then there are other people that are office guys. So fielders, office guys, different life experience, different temperaments, different uh, mindsets, different likes, different dislikes. Um, but at the end of the day, we were all running this race together. And we all got to end of it, like we ran the race together. At the end of the day, we looked at each other and went, yo, we did that together. And it was motivating to run this race with these dudes. Even though we were all different. We're similar, like a couple people, we kind of get naturally gravitate together because we have similar interests or we do the same job or whatever. But at the end of the day, what was uniting us all, even though we were very different people, was the overall mission was do the hard thing, complete this race, and we're gonna do it together. And that brought us all together. And I think from now on, these guys from the office, like the guys from my job that have done this race, will forever be one unit outside of the rest of the company, and that we have done this thing. It's almost like a war veteran coming back from combat. He's bonded with the people that he went overseas with really, really well, usually because they've been working for something higher than themselves. They're on a mission, they're there to complete the mission, and they're doing it in grueling conditions. When they come back, no one truly understands that because they weren't in the battle with them. You know? I don't know if that makes sense. But a warrior's closest friends usually are the ones that are fighting alongside him, not necessarily the people that he might be friends with back in his village or his home, because they weren't physically in the fight with him. They weren't fighting the same enemies. They weren't in combat. They weren't experiencing all the things that they experienced. But the warrior beside him did. And in my race, the Spartans next to me did. And I think forever we're going to have more of a bond because of that. At least I'd hope. That's all theoretical, but I feel like it checks out. Yeah, like attracts like, but only when there's a mission higher than yourself that you're all united against. Find that mission. Well, I think that might be it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. Again, I'm really glad you're here. I'll see y'all next time. I'll try to get up without spilling the coffee. Very slowly. It's how we do that.